All right, not bad, not bad.
I'll strive for greater heights.
Listen, it's too late to pivot to the prince. Look at this. My strength is 19. My magic is 53.
Marvelous.
We're switching back to the mage class.
Already.
I don't care if the prince is like the coolest archetype in the game.
I am most certainly stronger than I was.
The bastard got away.
I say, you chaps boggle the mind. It's no mean feat to fight on even footing with a human.
I'd hoped as much. You may yet have the power to face Luis at his full strength.
It's good to see you're safe. We've certainly taken these powers a long way. Maybe we thought ourselves invincible. But don't worry. At long last, the prince is safe. In a manner of speaking. Everything's going according to plan.
Still, what's our next move? The people think you a monster. Will not find any public backing like this.
Alces once said that His Highness the Prince was a soul born into adversity. He is royalty and elder both, heir to the legacies of heaven and earth. He is water and fire, in condemned conflux. When the day comes that His Highness may be revered as the good ruler he can be, then the world will truly be free of prejudice. And that, he said, is why we fight.
In his own words, huh? We have to fight for what he believed in. All the more reason we can't turn from this.
Right.
Years of prejudice won't go away overnight. Nothing could accomplish that. But if we don't believe things can change, they never will.
Come what may, my life is a shield raised in your highness's name. Are you prepared to fight Luis to the bitter end?
We fight him together.
Yes. By our efforts, we will stop Luis's reign.
If he ends up king, he'll be sending all traitors to the gallows. Not just us, but any innocent folks he doesn't find use for.
We've lost too many lives along this journey, and if Luis has his way with the world, such partings would become all too common. We have to stop him.
Look, I'm never giving up hope either, okay? All we have to do is beat him, right?
Looking forward to the victory song.
Well, we've got bigger things to worry about now. But I can't wait to sing it.
You... I'm still amazed. You really do look just like your mother. Truly, you are a child of fate. Your mother, she loved your father, and you with all her heart. The injustice that befell this village is not your fault. But listen well. Once you leave this village, you cannot return until you have fulfilled your ambitions. After all, an old crone like me can't take care of you forever. If you want to overcome your hardest challenges, you'll have to face them yourself. The world's fate is in your hands. Please, put an end to the tragedies of humankind's failures.
Humankind has a lot of failures, like a lot.
Yes, I will.
Our final battle lies ahead. We cannot lose.
Hey, we should probably, like, burn that corpse or something, right? Like, he can still, like, necromancy that, as far as I know. We should, like, do something about that.
Yet, before all else, His Highness has only just awoken. Let us rest in the Gauntlet Runner for today, and advance to the royal capital tomorrow.
I'm really interested in how they're going to set up me having, like, a deadline again. Because...
It's a bit strange, isn't it? I was convinced we'd been together for a long time. But I can't believe we've only just met.
There has to be one more deadline where I can actually, like, rank people up and hang out and do royal virtues and stuff. There has to be. Because I, like, did not have enough time to max out Basilio. There's gotta be. I wonder how they're gonna set it up.
beginning of my journey may have been a false memory. But my journey with you and the memories we've made, those are all real.
I think Gallica is about to hit rank 8, but there's no way they give you rank 8 Gallica and this new prince archetype, and then immediately are like, okay, go finish the game. There's gotta be at least a little bit of, like, game time left for me to be able to, like, actually utilize those.
Well, guess I'm repeating myself. But I'm glad we're working together.
Likewise, I'm glad to be your ally.
Yep. Though, I guess our toughest challenge is next.
Having overcome her trial, I can sense you found conviction from Gallica as both an ally and a friend.
The mystical fairy, Gallica. She who still keeps the virtues of the mage. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of her newfound powers, work together to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
There's another rank 8.
We've got the path to tomorrow in front of us, and I'm gonna lead the way.
Elemental Master and Warlock, finally! Finally! Also, this is insane. You just may occasionally get an extra turn icon. That's wild. Oh, the prince is at the head of the Vitruvian man. Interesting. And it doesn't have any evolutions. I was wondering if there'd be like a king archetype after it. You can now study the Elemental Master, as well as the Warlock. Yo, the Warlock looks really cool.
When things get tough, remember this magic. The music meant for you will play in your head.
This is the magic of music that Gallica cast for me once. Now that I think about it, it may have helped me in ways I didn't realize.
By the way, the chiefess told me something about your novel. Apparently your parents gave you that book when you were still just a kid. I wonder what your parents wanted you to get from reading it. What they hoped for you, I guess. I suppose you'll have to find out for yourself.
This book is the legacy of my parents, the late king of Euchronia and the queen of the Elden Sanctum. But how does this book, how does more still tie into all of this? I'm so intrigued. Perhaps the utopia depicted in this book, it wasn't a mere fantasy, but ideas of the old world passed down in the Sanctum.
The part we're reading today is the last chapter. It's about the ruler of this ideal world. Let's read it together.
This is the last chapter of the book. We're not going to be reading it anymore, so we can't have any new friends now.
The last chapter is about the ruler of a utopia. The one who governs this utopia must have an unwavering will. To maintain justice in this world, there are innumerable obstacles to overcome. Yet, as long as one lives by their ideals, those who support them are sure to follow. A utopia is not the creation of a single mind or a single power. It is a world shaped by all its people. The last part sounds a little more metaphorical. There's a little more. However, even a utopia may one day fray at the edges, and its people may come to conflict over the question of what is right. What is a true utopia? What is a true ruler? None have yet found the answers to these questions.
Then true utopia has never been achieved. The so-called utopia depicted within the novel was based on the old world, but it fell into ruin and was destroyed by war. So if this book traces the trajectory of the old world, are these truly the ideals we're striving for? Seems rather the opposite.
So even the author of this book struggled with these questions. And if you become king, you'll have plenty of tough questions and struggles to face yourself. Lady Gruaday mentioned the king was a real idealist when he first arrived at the village, but little by little, the pains of reality crushed his hope. And he even lost his son. In the end, his will was broken. He didn't lift a finger to stop the church's rise to power. With that in mind, I can honestly see why people would be drawn to Luis. His values are radical and cruel, but he's devoted to them. Unshakable, even. But we can't lose either. For the sake of everyone who has believed in us along the way.
Even if I were to win the throne, there's no guarantee my idealistic vision could become reality.
Right.
And yet, what choice is there but to believe in them and fight on? The alternative is to accept that nothing will change. But life will change, as we know.
You've got the power to change the world. And the one who gave it to you was, well, yourself. And that's what I'm going to help you with. That's my mission. My real mission. And I'm going to see it through.
After discussing the novel and our ideals with Gallica, I closed my eyes. And then died of a heart attack. Ah, end of the game. How sudden. Oh, now I gotta talk to Moore, too? Academia, it seems I've been summoned by Moore in a dream.
I saw what happened. So, you found a way to unequivocally shape your destiny. As far as I know, there is no record of your newly acquired archetype ever being used, even in ancient times. An archetype whose existence was only theoretical, known to some scholars as the magic of true sovereignty. Indeed, a power of legend. I once said that to be Elda was your inescapable fate. However, it seems the truth was more complex than that. Magic is a process by which we confront fate and tame anxiety. And archetypes are its essence. They are manifestations of a resolve capable of heroic virtue. So then, what do you think is the foremost, most inescapable fate a person must bear?
The foremost fate? Not really sure, but for me to be me, and for you to be you? Or something like that.
Indeed. It is birth that is inescapable. You cannot choose who you are born to, and once your familial place is determined, that fate cannot be changed. Yet by some strange tangle of destiny, you were given a choice that the very act of existence denies most people. By your own will, you were born again as a prince. Do you understand? You stand on the threshold of truly becoming a ruler. Not as an unearned title of bloodline's chance, nor as a mere authority over people. You have taken control of your life. You are ready to rule your very self. That is what it truly means to be a hero. And it is the crux of the power that is awakened within you. What glorious coincidence indeed. That I, as a scholar of archetypes, might cross paths with and witness such a remarkably fated boy. It almost bespeaks...
Indeed. 'Tis his hands that bear our fate.
Who... I remember. I know that I know this voice. Had I forgotten it all this time? Yes. I swear I've heard it before. And I let it slip from my mind. Who are you? You with this voice that moves hearts. Speak. Who are you? Why have you awakened this boy to his power?
If it is answers you seek, then go and claim them.
Are you? Could you be?
As for you, I bid thee awaken. Move onward to thy final ordeal. Take thy place at the final proving of the Ascension of Kings.
My consciousness faded as I was sent back to sleep. I'm reminded that Moore was the author of the fantasy novel. Has Moore visited the ancient Elden sanctum?
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Oh, it's me! Why is Gallica there? Idol's Day! The sales!
Okay, all our preparations are just about set. Now that this is actually happening, I've got some pre-show jitters.
All this royalty?
It always felt they lived in a different world to the likes of me. Never figured I'd be walking alongside one myself.
'Tis proof that bloodline decides nothing. We are one people living in a shared world.
Looks like this is gonna be our last mission. Any final words you want to say?
This is really feeling like they're setting up the end of the game, but there has to be one more deadline, surely, right? I'm gonna be a little upset if there's not one more deadline, because man, I did not feel like I wasted many, if any, days throughout this playthrough. I really hope they didn't go back to old school, like, Persona, where it's like, hey, we basically do not give you enough days to max out the royal virtues, so the only way to actually be able to rank everyone up or even get close to it is to NG+. That will heavily affect my final rating of this game. Like, that will really upset me.
We can't give up. Stand strong to the end.
Of course. No way we're losing here. I've got the fire in my eyes now.
About the new stuff you've felt and learned since becoming the prince. Can I ask you one more thing? Why is it that you want to be king? It's not about honor or power, is it?
I want to protect this country and its people.
'Tis the answer I hoped for. As your knight, I will ever serve you with all my soul and ability.
Well, I guess this means we're ready as we're gonna be.
Alright. Can I... Here's our current position. Can I, like... Are they gonna force me? I really wanted to end stream like 5 minutes ago. I did not expect fighting that human would lead to so many cutscenes.
This place...
Or to fighting Zorba. I thought we'd fight Zorba and then get a second to breathe. I'm gonna wrap up here. I'm very hungry and I was not planning to go more than 3 hours today. We're already like 20 minutes over what I wanted to do today. The game should have auto-saved. Hopefully I don't have to fight that human again. I'll check, and if I have to, then I'll fight it again off stream, so that we'll be right back here, hopefully. But I was hoping the game would just let me save. I don't want to go and, like, get thrown into another boss fight with Luis or something. But, yeah, that's going to be all for today. For those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to catch streams live, link to my Twitch channel in the description. This has all been some crazy stuff today. It's been pretty great. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. But, yeah. Check out the link in the description if you want to watch live. Otherwise, keep watching on YouTube. I appreciate support either way. And until next time, farewell.